Hello, students, and welcome to the STEM room where we're having art class today. Before we go into what we will be creating, I want to go over some of the procedures and expectations for how we're working in this classroom today. So I'd like to remind you, please, that the rules are still the same. It doesn't matter how close to the break that we are getting, the rules of school are still the same. So remember what is expected in my art room. First of all, you are positive, nothing hurtful or harmful that would be distracting to someone else. Productive, you're working on your art assignment today. You are creating art. You are not creating drama. You are not creating a mess. You are not creating frustration for your classmates or your teacher. We are here to work on our assignment so we can work together as a whole to create what we are making. And lastly, safe. You are using supplies correctly. You're in control of your body, your words, and your actions. Our art supplies today with our black light art are to be used on your paper, not your skin, not the table, not anywhere else. These are the expectations. Cannot meet them. I will not be a detective and figure out who did what. It is simply over, lights on, and we will not continue. So let's think about what we did last year with our blacklight art. We talked about all of the planets and galaxies from Mr. Wolfcool and Miss Shoemaker's planetarium, and we worked together to create a giant glow space for our art show. We are going to again extend this idea and create another big glow gallery based off of this artwork by artist Vincent van Gogh called The Starry Night. And I find this painting so appropriate for our space unit because it is a painting of the nighttime sky. Vincent van Gogh was an impressionistic painter. He was known for painting outside with this quick, swirling movement of brushstrokes that many scientists who have seen this artwork have compared to the swirling and twisting of galaxies and turbulence in outer space. In fact, students, there is a nebula taken from the Webb telescope that's named after this famous artwork. So Vincent van Gogh lived in France, and he was an impressionistic painter, meaning that he used quick brushstrokes and big, bold color to create his artwork. And he didn't just paint the starry night, he painted many different landscapes, portraits, and still lifes. Here we have a still life of his sunflower series. Here is a self-portrait of Vincent van Gogh, my favorite redheaded artist. And again, we see here his subject matter where he's painting outside at night. Observe the characteristics of his paint work, how it's those big, thick, bold strokes of color. That's what we're going to use similarly to create our own glow gallery today. So our final project we're creating in class might look something like this. We are going to recreate the look of Starry Night using Vincent van Gogh's still life subject of flowers to swirl and twirl to create our turbulent sort of flower galaxy in our glow gallery. I like to call this STEAM because we're combining a little bit of everything. In science, next art class, we're going to talk a little bit about bioluminescent plants and animals, real life flora and fauna that actually glow. Technology, we're using the electromagnetic spectrum, here are ultraviolet black lights, to create the glow of our phosphorescent materials. Engineering, of course, we've got to get this thing to hang on the wall somehow so we can create a big art display of our drawn nature. And finally, in math, radial symmetry, a design that repeats around a circle like you would see in nature in a flower. So the last slide I'm going to end you with before I talk to you about how we're going to make our flower objects with oil pastels today in our black light is this. This is an image taken from the Webb telescope. It's called the Starry Night Nebula, and it's named after this painting, which is what inspired our project here. Look at these swirling gas clouds. Scientists saw this nebula from the Webb telescope and thought it reminded them exactly of the swirling stars in Starry Night. So, artists, in conclusion, we are going to today begin to work on our blacklight glow gallery. So let's call it Vincent Van Glow, baby, as we work on our Starry Night space. So if you would please show me Mona Lisa. I'm going to demonstrate for you now how you're going to use the materials in our STEM room to create our components here for our Starry Night inspired artwork.